This is Neil Stonechild. He is a 17-year-old Cree First Nation from Thompson, Manitoba. Neil moved to Saskatoon with his mother, sister, older brother, and younger brother. On November 25th, 1990, Neil was out with his friend James Roy when police arrived. Neil was dragged into the back of their police car. The car then drove away towards the northeast side of the city. The last words James heard Neil say were, "Help me, they're going to kill me." When they reached the outskirts of the city, the police took Neil's jacket from him. He was then abandoned and forced to find his way back to the city alone in minus 28-degree weather. This practice was called a starlight tour. Neil was found several days later like this, with his face pressed against the snow. He had died of hypothermia. When he was found, he was missing one shoe and had a cut on his face. Neil's death was one of many examples of racism that still exists in our society today. Within 10 years, 4 more men were found dead within similar circumstances. All of them were Aboriginal. For years, First Nations people have been treated like second-class citizens. Their entire way of life has been trampled into the dust and described as evil. Just because of their heritage, Indigenous peoples have been forced into a way of life that is much unlike their own. Their children are forced away from their traditions and conditioned to think of their people as less than human. Because Aboriginals are not accepted into normal society, many of them are forced out of their homes and into the streets. Some First Nations do not receive proper education. This means that they cannot get good jobs and are forced to turn to welfare to survive. Ever since we arrived in Canada, Indigenous peoples have been shunned and insulted. They have been cast to the side to be ridiculed and mocked. We need to stand up for this issue and create change. The problems are all around us, and yet next to nothing is being done. We can't trust our governments to get the job done. They are only suits and flashy smiles. The real power lies with the people and their will to stop issues like racism at its roots. Aboriginals have been persecuted for too long. Now is the time to make a difference in their lives as well as ours. Stand up and show your support. Next time you hear or see a First Nations person being insulted because of their race, don't keep walking and ignore it. Make a change and stand. Your only regret will be that you didn't do it sooner.